What if I told you that you could go faster without taking anything off your car, without buying any parts, and without making any modifications to it? Yep, that's right. I'm talking about driver weight. It's a real thing. Driver weight's such a big deal that the torque converter company or the transmission company, whatever you want to call it, that I called up on Saturday about getting a torque converter for this thing, asked me a whole bunch of questions like rear end ratio, front weight, rear weight. It even asked me about driver weight, and I told them 300 something pounds, and they're like, how much is the something? And I was like, 302. And they're like, okay, well, they put it down and they do their thing or whatever, and I got a price and whatever. I have been wanting to lose weight, not even just because of the car or whatever, but I've been wanting to lose weight regardless. I used to weigh a lot less. I was in like the 225 range-ish, So I think I can get back there. I think it was about 4 years ago. I did like a weight loss challenge at a gym that I was going to, and I weighed right at 300 pounds. And at the end of the 6 weeks, I was like 242, I think. I'll look at, if I have some pictures, I'll put them in here. But mainly my diet consisted of, first week was like straight salads for lunch and dinner. And then at dinner, I added a protein to the salad. And then for morning breakfast, I had maybe like 2 eggs. Today, I started eating better. So the urges to have junk food were they were extreme. I actually took a trip over. I found a really cool coffee machine on a marketplace. So I wanted to go get it. And I had to take a trip. And I'm passing Checkers and like burger joints and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh man. Really wanted to eat, I'm hungry. There's a way to do this without feeling those crazy hunger pains and not feeling like you're starving yourself. So I know what works for me. This is not a how to lose weight video. This is not like a lose 50 pounds in 6 weeks video or whatever. No, this is just me chit-chatting with you and telling you what works for me. So I'm not a health professional. Do not follow my advice, even at your own risk. Don't do it. And this weekend, you could tell I didn't get any cleaning done, but I had to go visit some family, and it was good. I got a little staycation in and got to hang out and chill, and it was just a nice disconnect to be able to get a little reboot. So while I was visiting family, my sister and her husband gave me a Phantom 4 drone. Besides the Mavic 3 Enterprise or something, some kind of technical stuff. Besides the newest, latest, and greatest, there's only one other drone that has a mechanical shutter, and that's the Phantom 4. So I'm extremely excited to have it. I've got to do some repairs to it because it needs, I think it's like a reflow of the connector that charges the connector that's in like the remote control or something like that. So I'm gonna be working on that, not today, but I will be working on that here pretty soon, just because I wanted to do some cool, sick drone shots, you know what I'm saying? I think it would be neat, I think drones are cool. I think aerial photography is cool, and I've always wanted to try it. And I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so why not? I mean, if it goes down, I can go find it, no big deal. And then once this thing eventually gets on the road or on the track or whatever, I can do some cool little like driving shots and then run it over with the car because I'm not a great pilot. But as far as the eating healthy thing, I need to do it mainly for my own health, number one. I mean, that should be the number one motivator. But honestly, losing weight off the car, you can only cut so much before it's not a car anymore. At that point, you might as well just go full tube chassis, and that's a bankroll I ain't got. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weigh myself, see how much I'm at right now, like today. I had a great salad. I mean, this thing was awesome. Actually, it's over here. It was awesome. Steak bits or steak bites, grilled, not fried or anything. It was just grilled up. I had a lettuce and some ranch. Now the ranch, I made sure that that is the slippery slope. I know that from the past, so I went ahead and dialed it down to 2 tablespoons. It was hard, but the reward is plenty. So what I'll be doing is I'll be doing updates and whatnot, weighing myself over the course of the next 6 weeks just to see how things go. I did do a lot of treadmill work, I guess you could say, a lot of cardio when I did lose that weight a long time ago, but I don't have a treadmill, so I'm gonna have to improvise. I do have a really sick road bike I mean, I think it's pretty sweet. I don't take it off any jumps, but it's kitted to what I would like to do. So I may actually go on some rides and whatnot. Whether I bring you along or not, I don't know. I'd really rather stay focused on keeping the heart rate where it needs to be so I could lose the weight. But the updates, I'll probably post them over on my Instagram. There should be a link at the channel or the home screen. Actually, it's in the description. If you look, it'll say merch, HOSSgarage.com, and then underneath that it'll say follow me on Instagram. And on the Instagram, that's where I'll post like the weight drop. I think that's a better place for that. So right now, this is more just chilling today, hanging out with you guys. And since we're hanging out, this boombox, Ghetto Blaster, 3000, 5000, whatever you want to call it. I had this when I was a kid. So back in like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, I was like, what can I do to convince my parents to hook me up with the baddest boombox on the planet? And I saw this and I was like, all right, mow grass, help around the house, whatever. And I was like, all right, I'll do that. And little slowly but surely, like I saved up some money and this and that, you know, so I'm like, cut some grasses in the neighborhood, whatever the case may be, but they got me this, right? And it's not this one. That one was lost many, many moons ago. I think it was back in, I'm gonna date myself when I tell you this. I think I got it in 89, I think. It was before we moved from down south up north, but yeah, this is the exact same model, same color, same everything. It's the Magnavox D8300, yeah, D8300, 100. And it used to have, or brand new, they would have a black carry strap that was like long and it was black and it said yellow letters, Magnavox. Now they make one that's like this, or they made one that was like this. It was black and silver, and it was Magnavox too. Check that out. Oh, this is the one I had back in the day. So that's why, to me, it was so nostalgic. And I found this on Marketplace for, ready for this? $25. So I was actually driving. It was one of the days where I was moving stuff up here before I started filming up here and whatnot. I was moving stuff over, and on your board and check Marketplace at a rest stop when you're taking a break from driving, and I found it, and I was like, where are you? I'm coming right now. And the guy was like, yeah, be here by 3 o'clock. And it was like 2:30. So I went in and got it. So very happy to have that. That's a blast from the past with a lot of memories. I got some scrapers. They're in the car. I can take that off. Air compressor, I may have a line on that. I think next week, may have something coming up. So if that comes through, that would be great, because then I can actually get an air body saw and start doing some real work, cutting some stuff out. Because I don't think, you know, as much as I say, oh, I gotta pull the engine and whatnot, but I really don't. Because look at all that room I got. Now, it sounds counterintuitive, but to be honest with you, all of the metal shavings and all that, it's just gonna land on the transmission. And that belt housing, it's an OEM belt housing. It doesn't really matter. I don't care. You know, I'm gonna run something aftermarket. I think TCI makes one specifically for the Gen V. So I get to have the other bolt that we're not using. But I'm okay with cutting while it's in here. So there's plenty of room for me to move around. So the air body saw cuts a lot faster than, where's it at? This new one that I got. Well, it's the replacement to the Soldier. I got another one of those. So, I mean, this is good for small stuff, you know what I mean? But for the time being, if I'm gonna do any kind of serious fab or serious cutting or any kind of rust removal, which I need to do, I'm gonna need that air. So that, hopefully that, fingers crossed. Can I cross my fingers? Dang, I haven't tried to cross my fingers in so long. There we go. Hopefully that comes through. But in the meantime, you know, I need to make progress on this thing. I need to make a list of what I want to accomplish and put it on the hustle board. You may have seen these things kicking around, these light bars. These light bars are for the Magnum. Do you remember the Magnum? The Dodge Magnum? the Ecto D. What are we gonna call it? The Ecto Magnum 1, the Ecto M. You know, I still want to do that. That's still a big, I would love to do that. That's an easy project. I mean, all we'd have to do is just get OEM stuff and slap it back in. Just get another V8 Hemi, bolt it right up, get another Nag 1, bolt it right up, done. You know, it would be cool to LS swap it. It'd be cool to do the 6.0, but to be honest with you, the more complex I make a project, the less fun it is. Now, I'm not saying, oh, it's too hard, cop out, whatever. My thing is, I've been doing build stuff for so long. I mean, it's been like 3 years, you know, 4 years. It's been so long with this, with HOSS, that I want to have fun. I want to do something. And working on this is fun. I'm very appreciative to get to do stuff like this. It's awesome to get to do stuff like this. But I would like something, I need some kind of gratification. I need some kind of sense of, yay, this project is finished. So that would be really cool if for some, I was probably like really close. Long story short, I still want to do that project. I've just backburnered it because this is the main focus for right now. I want to do as much progress as I can on this and at least get it crunk up where the engine's breathing and making noise and making spark and fire and whatnot, and it can move under its own power. Once it can move, okay, long-term goal. Once this thing can move under its own power, then I'll pull in the Magnum and start working on it. I need to like focus on one thing. So I just have those over there because I was tinkering with them, and I've got a breakout box. Now those lights are controlled by like a brain box or whatever, and they're extremely hard to find because they don't make them no more. So I was able to find one on Marketplace, and Marketplace is the hookup, and I've been tinkering with it. So I guess the next step for that thing, once I verify that they work, is to put them inside the Magnum and put them away for a while. But the car's in good shape. It's just been sitting over there in the corner and waiting its turn. So this has got a run, drive, stop. Okay, stop, start, steer. It needs to stop, start, steer before it goes out the door. And once it goes out the door and it's doing that, then we'll hit something else. Oh yeah, it's working. 3 days sitting without starting it. Oh, my dome light. I turned it off. There we go. 3 days without starting this thing. It should be good to go if it has power. Well, a little slow start, but that's okay. These trucks have body modules and all sorts of stuff where you can't leave them running. Well, my bad. You can't leave them sitting still, so you gotta crank them up. But cheap eBay lights, man. Cheap LEDs, man. I swear. Hey, any LED companies or anything, don't send me none of your lights. I bought these off eBay, and actually I didn't even buy these off eBay. They freaking came with the truck. They suck. Don't buy. Do not buy. Probably CAN bus non-compatible, but whatever. So yeah, so you have to start them up. So I guess now that it's good to go, tomorrow morning I'll crank her up and get her all cleaned up and drive it around for a little bit. But yeah, it's ready to go. How many times you go to Harbor Freight and they give you the free magnet thing and you never use it? Like, it's been sitting there for like 2 weeks, just chilling. So let's fix that. Come here. Oh, stick that over here. And boom, problem solved. So in front of this hood for HOSS, which is the OEM hood, I don't think I want to get rid of this. I can't get rid of this thing, man. Like, this is part of HOSS, dude. Like, this is car 1373, man. This is the hood that SLP puts on the car when it goes from Canada to the United States with a temporary hood, because they used to make these cars, 4th gens, they made them in Canada. If you didn't know, Canadian. So takes a trip over the border with a temporary hood. SLP takes the car, puts the OEM hood on. I don't know what the temp hood looks like. That would be crazy if I could see one of those. But they put the SLP hood on and they do the alterations. They do base alterations and then they do like whatever the customer ordered, you know, because these cars were built to order. They weren't just like put out. Either the dealership orders them and they get made. That's how it worked back then. The dealership would order it and they would have it for their lot and then it would get sold or they could order it. So that's basically how you could get it. Or they do like a dealer trade or dealer locate. But if you had one of these and you were a dealer, no sales manager, nobody wanted to get rid of their, I mean, this is like it's like the Civics and the Type Rs, like when they first came back, nobody wanted to get rid of them. Ask me how I know. But I digress. So in front of this hood, I have this 55-inch TV and I have it wrapped in garbage bags because that's how you protect the electronics. I have this TV that I want to mount probably like here on this one. Like I'll go from here to here and I'll put like a board or something like, and then mount it on like a bracket or something. So that way I can read, when I do live streams, I can read comments from the car. Like I could be chilling in the car and look over to the wall and read the comments. So, and it's cool to, if you gotta look something up on YouTube, how to do blank, you could look it up and watch on the big screen. You know, watch football games or whatever, you know, because it's a shared space, you know, family, you know, likes to hang out and kids like to do stuff. So I'd have to move this out of the way for a multi-purpose room because it's, like I said, it's a shared space. I gotta do what I gotta do. So I know it's been just me talking and chit chat with you guys or whatever, but that's how it is, man. It's the reality of it. You gotta spend time, hang out, you know, and you can't just expect to know someone or get to know someone if you don't chit chat with them. So that being said, make sure you hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. I can't stress how much it means to me when you guys tune in and watch the videos. Even if they're not super spectacular, it still means a lot. And make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another one. And if you're digging it, digging the build, digging the content, share it with a friend. We'll see you next time.